10! Shut! By the left! Quick! March!
There's evidence that someone they call Agent Virgil may be a conduit. The main source of the leaks is someone who works inside the Foreign Office in London, and his KGB codename is Homer. MI6 have modified their original list of suspects and put George Quinnell right at the very top.
What do you think?
I think London's right.
Arrested?
Not yet. Let's make absolutely sure first, shall we? Thank you, Dick.
Good morning, Mr. Quinnell.
Make all the arrangements for you to join me in Moscow.
What's this other case?
Mine, I'm going too. Stanley, no?
Yes, he ordered it.
British authorities have now learned that George Quinnell and Angus Petherbridge, the two diplomats who fled England on May 25, 1951, and later surfaced in Moscow, had been Soviet spies since their recruitment at Cambridge University. The length of their deception and the ease of their escape would indicate that the KGB has penetrated British intelligence at the very highest level.
Sally! Come and join us for lunch.
Oh, I just came to pick up my mail.
All of us came to Beirut with some other purpose in mind. How have you been?
We've missed you, Sally. You become a recluse every time Paul goes bye-bye. Would you like to drink?
Oh, if I must.
The only difference between me and that bugger T. Lawrence was I had the balls to become a bloody Muslim.
Who's that?
That's all Randolph Cauffield.
He met his son, Leo, Middle East stringer with the London Times. Leo! Come and meet the most beautiful woman in Beirut.
Oh, God.
Leo, this is Sally Tyler.
Pleased to meet you, Sally.
And you, Leo.
Leo's a bit of a loner, Sally, but we still think of him as one of us.
Well, to be in society is simply a bore. To be out of it is merely a tragedy.
Well, at least he's not like these younger journos out here. They are so NQOCMD. Not quite our class, my dear.
Oh, please, Pete. I'm sure Sally grew up blissfully unencumbered by DPLTOC. Dreadful phrases like that, old chap. Peter's a little lecherous and opinionated old bastard, isn't he?
He's one of my closest friends,
Which, of course, are both deeply admirable qualities in a man.
but not that close.
I know.
Who brought the Americans to Arabia in the first bloody place? I did.
I suppose I should go and rescue my father before he falls down. It was nice to meet you, Sally.
And you, Leo.
In my opinion, Western oil money is...
Cher, voiture.
يا ولد وينك رايح ولد يا ابن وين رايح؟ لا لا
Sally. Would you like a drink?
A tea, please.
Tea, please. Glad you've come. I've needed some human contact. I've been like a hermit since Christmas.
Me too. Paul's away again on business in Libya. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I ask you a question? I mean, don't ask me if you think it's not my business. Are you happily married?
Happily enough. Paul and I are comfortable. Well, Paul's a good husband and father. I mean, I'm sure he wishes he picked someone who was a little bit more efficient in the kitchen and someone who would keep their opinions to themselves.
Well, maybe you should have married me. I'm very good in the kitchen, and I keep my opinions to myself.
Well, if he ever decides to change his mind, I'll have him give you a call. Did that answer your question?
Let's go through here. The city takes its name from a legend about a chap who rescued the goddess Beirut from the Sea of Russia. Actually, right now, we're standing on the site of a 3,000-year-old settlement.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
my fault.
I ran into an old acquaintance today I haven't seen for years. British writer named Leo Cauffield. You haven't come across him on the circuit since I've been gone, have you?
Yes?
I always liked Leo. Matter of fact, I invited him over to dinner next week.
Paul. Have you thought any more about taking that offer to run the bureau in Paris?
Why?
I just thought it might be a good change for us.
I already turned it down. There's nothing much of interest happening in Paris these days.
Sally, did you know that Leo here was awarded an OBE by the Queen herself?
What'd you get it for?
I was working for British intelligence. I was the head of a thing called Section 9.
The Brits' counterintelligence division, Sally.
May I have another cup of coffee? It's absolutely delicious.
I'm off on another trip next week, Leo.
Really?
I think Sally gets a bit moody when I'm away. Women don't like to be left alone for too long. If you have any time, you should keep her company.
Have you thought of taking her with you?
Can I get you a brandy?
Oh, no, thanks. I've got to be going soon. I promised my father I'd look in at St. George's after dinner. Excuse me, waiter. There's a beautiful woman in my coffee.
I hear the Americans are trying to launch their own spaceship now that the Russians have sent up Sputnik 2.
Yes. I gather it's called The Vanguard.
How much was it? What do you want?
I want to know why time stands still when we're together.
Maybe your watch broke.
Probably. Everything else I valued before I met you seems worthless now.
I can't do this.
Sally, we don't have to be imprisoned by the choices we made in the past.
Paul, would you please say something?
I'm jealous.
Of Leo?
Of you. I wish I could have could feel like that about someone.
Oh, Paul.
Paul, if I could have fallen for anyone in the world other than Sally, I swear I would have done.
I won't file for divorce myself. But I won't stand in your way either.
You know I intend to marry her as soon as it's final.
Leo Anthony Charles Cauffield, do you take Sally to be thy lawful wedded wife, to have and to hold, for richer and for poorer, in sickness and in health, till death do you part?
Now, the secret of a happy marriage is compromise. And I should know because I've had a few wives myself. Anyway, when Leo's mother and I first got married, we moved into a small house with a small garden and a tiny flower bed. Now, I wanted to plant daffodils, and she wanted to plant rhubarb. So what did we do? We compromised. We planted rhubarb. Anyway, here's a toast to the happy couple.
Happy couple.
Happy couple.
Where did you find the old school scarf? I lost mine years ago.
I've always hung on to it. It brings me good luck. This is a real thing, Andy. I mean, I didn't realize how lonely I was until I met Sally.
I couldn't be happier for you, old chap. But I hope you'll still spend some time with old chums.
Of course.
Catherine and I hardly know a soul in Beirut.
Beirut?
I've just been posted out there.
I didn't think the Middle East was quite your bag.
I rather felt like new challenges. But more importantly, to you.
Tea, darling, on the terrace.
This is the first thing I've done in years. I guess I'm the opposite of a tortured artist. I can only draw or paint when I'm at peace with myself.
There is nothing more pleasing to the eye than a picture of women's breasts.
It's a bowl of fruit. Really? Really? I've always preferred sunrises to sunsets.
Sugar.
Yeah.
You look radiant, honey. I just hope you both be okay.
We'll be fine. My biggest concern was Jen, and she seems to be more than okay with it. I think kids are happy when their parents are.
By the way, I'm assuming that you know that before Leo was a journalist, he was kicked out of British intelligence.
He wasn't kicked out, Faye. He resigned.
I couldn't give a damn either way, honey. If you're happy, I'm happy.
You are in big trouble now, mister. Hello.
Hi, Mom. Hello.
Oliver. Why can't you play with the other kids instead of terrorizing the entire neighborhood? Well, you're looking very pleased with yourself.
I have just booked a table with Sullers for our anniversary dinner tomorrow night.
Oh, my God. I thought you had to be knighted or have 3 hyphens in your last name to get in there.
Listen, I'm maybe just another British journalist, but I do have my connections.
Well, you better tell me who they are, and I'll send them a thank you note.
Can we go sailing tomorrow, Dad?
Aye, aye, matey, if that storm that's a-coming is all cleared up, har har.
Yippee!
Was that yippee, there's a storm coming, or yippee, we're going sailing?
Both, I guess.
I have an appointment.
Oh, well, I have spam. So thank God we're going to the Tollins' house for dinner. Okay?
I'll be back at 6.
Okay.
Ooh, gosh, that.
I never thought I'd see the day when both my daughter and my stepdaughter ended up in jail. What did I do wrong, eh?
I'm just visiting, Daddy.
Hey, don't forget your coat and umbrella. They're forecasting rain later. Leo. Whoa. Somebody get that?
Hello? Okay, I will. Bye. It was Daddy. He says he's gonna be a bit late. He'll meet you at the Tollins around 8 o'clock.
Okay, thanks. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi. Cats and dogs, huh?
Leo's been held up, and he'll be here pretty soon.
Well, don't worry about it. Everybody's having problems with this weather. Champagne, please.
Oh. Thank you.
They'll be glad to see you.
Are you sure you don't want us to wait?
Oh, positive, Faye. I'm sure he just had trouble getting a cab.
All right, let's eat then. Come on. Please sit down.
بدنا نجربوا كل انواع الاكل.
في واحد بيجي العنا.
Sally, would you like to call home, see if he's got back yet?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Dad's not here. Have you heard from him?
No, he hasn't rung or stopped by.
All right.
Now, do you think maybe it got so late he's just decided to go straight there?
I'll call you back, honey. Don't worry.
Can I sleep in your room all night if Daddy doesn't come back?
Of course.
He promised to take me sailing tomorrow.
He'll be back.
When did Glenn Tolan say to call the hospitals?
Not till morning, honey. But it'll be okay.
Louis Pasteur.
Well, he was very persistent.
So was Joan of Arc.
Oh, Andy, I'm sorry to call you so early, but it's just, you know, you're his closest friend. I'm really worried.
Don't worry. Don't worry. You've done the right thing.
I know.
Is it all right if I take a quick look at his
Sure,
stuff?
of course. Okay.
Is there anything missing? Typewriter?
I think so.
Documents?
No.
New passport. Was he planning on going anywhere?
I don't think so.
For the Times?
No.
Sally, I'm gonna call the police and file a missing persons report.
Okay.
Hello. Yes, you have. Are you sure? Yes, thank you. The body of an unidentified white male has been found washed up near the harbor.
It's not him.
Mrs. Cauffield, security police.
Security police?
May we take a look around your apartment?
Wait a minute. What the hell do you think you're doing?
Ahmed.
Andy.
Sally, this is Dennis Ackworth, my successor as SI's chief here in
What's
Beirut.
going on? Why are the police tearing our apartment apart?
Mrs. Cauffield, the warrant is out for the arrest of your husband. The Lebanese authorities believe he may be working for the Soviet Union.
Is this some kind of sick joke?
Espionage is not something we at MI6 regard as a source of humor. Sally, I understand how you must feel about this, but...
Oh, no, Andy. You don't know how I feel. You could possibly know how I feel, Andy, or you wouldn't be able to just stand there while this stuck-up prick tells me that they think my husband is working for the goddamn Russians. Andy.
Sorry.
I'm going to the beach.
All right.
Merci beaucoup.
Hello, I'm Sally Caulfield. My husband Leo Cauffield and I used to have an arrangement to pick up our mail here. Are there any letters for him?
No, Mrs. Cauffield. I'm afraid not. But there's a letter for you.
My dearest Sal, I'm so sorry I disappeared so suddenly. I had to leave town on a very important story. Please, please don't worry, darling. Everything is fine. Inside your studio, you'll find something from me. There should be enough cash to pay all the bills. You'll also find something to remember our very special day this week. I haven't forgotten you or the kids or everything you all mean to me. And I believe now, as passionately as I always have, that we will all someday be living in a better world than this. And I miss you and love you more than ever. Give the kids a big hug and a kiss from me. Love, Leo.
Mom?
Is he working for British intelligence? How much were you aware of this before?
As I have already told the police and the British Embassy,
Mrs. Caulfield, this isn't the first time.
my husband is away doing a story for the Times. Unfortunately, some people have chosen to jump to the wrong conclusion.
Mrs. Caulfield, are you yourself in any way? The police have gone in this
It's a little strange the way he left. You've got to admit that.
People thought a lot of strange things when he left MI6, but they were wrong.
I have less reason to trust Leo than anyone. But if it's any consolation, I don't believe he's a Russian agent.
Thanks for the vote of confidence.
You know, it's possible he didn't actually write that letter. I don't want to be an alarmist, but as a former bigwig with British counterintelligence, still doing work for them on the side, he'd be something of a capture for the KGB.
Oh, that makes me feel a lot better.
Oh, listen, Sally, I'm sure everything's going to be fine. But until things settle down around here, I think Jen should come back with me to New York. Even if he is just on a story, people are going to believe whatever they want to believe. And until he shows up somewhere, it's going to be a carnival.
Come here. Okay.
The enclosed is to buy tickets to London for you and the children. Just write the date of your departure in chalk on the wall at the end of our street. Oh, my love. I guess he could be working on something that requires this degree of secrecy. It's a little over the top, isn't it?
So either he's been abducted against his will, or it boils down to whether or not I trust my husband.
Trust and love aren't always mutually inclusive, darling.
Mrs. Cauffield?
Who is it?
I have come from Leo.
How did you get up here? The doorman has strict orders not to let anyone up here.
Come with me now, please. I will make all the arrangements.
I can't. I'm taking my children to England as soon as they get home from school.
Please, I must come in.
Get away! Go! Call the police.
I have only come to help. You must believe that. Why didn't you write a departure date on the wall like Leo asked?
Where is he? Are you holding him somewhere?
Everything is fine. Please, Mrs. Cauffield, come.
Oh. Go to your rooms! I told you to go to your rooms right now!
Sally, welcome back to London. Let me have your case.
Thanks, Andy.
How are you?
Okay.
Lucy,
Hello, Mr. Darcy.
good to see you, Oliver.
You too.
The kids are going to be staying with their cousin in Wiltshire. I want them out of the spotlight in London.
Ah, yes?
Yes. Okay, darlings. I'll see you soon.
And where are you staying?
I'm staying with Leo's sister Cynthia in Islington.
Sally, did Leo ever mention the name Dick Madsen to you?
Well, there was a fellow he called Limp Dick, if that's what you're talking about.
Ah. He was rather hoping you'd come and meet with him at his office.
Well, I'll try not to call him that to his face. If I can.
Would you like a Belgian toffee? I have them sent from Brussels every month.
Yeah, thank
you. Tell me, do you by any chance recognize this fellow, Mrs. Cauffield? Is he the chap who tried to persuade you to leave Beirut with him?
Mm-hmm. Who is he?
He's Turkish.
Well, that's helpful.
This photo of him was taken last night. He was found by the side of the road near the Syrian border.
Who do you think did it?
KGB, CIA, who knows? Maybe even the Turks themselves.
Sally, is there anything you can remember about Leo's behavior before he disappeared that was unusual?
Well, he was drinking more than usual.
Well, that's understandable if he was planning an escape.
That wasn't what was happening. Leo's father was staying with us, and he had a heart attack. You know, Leo and his father were very close.
Did you know that before the war, Randolph Cauffield tried to make a deal with Hitler, which would have given the Germans an unlimited supply of oil?
We had to assign an agent to keep us up to date with all his activities.
Why are you telling me this?
Because the agent we assigned was his own son, Leo. Forgive me for asking, Mrs. Cauffield, but most of the undergraduates the KGB recruited from Cambridge were homosexual. I was wondering if Leo's alleged penchant for the opposite sex was actually a front.
For British intelligence these days, we must be the stupidest bloody country in the world. I never understood why Leo had anything to do with them. Oh, you look exhausted. I'll let you get some rest.
Thank you.
Some coffee, Auntie?
Thanks, Ellie.
Sure. Hey.
It was the proudest moment of my father's life when I got the OBE. I was always a bit of a disappointment after that.
Oh, I don't think that's true.
When MI6 asked me to resign, they told me I would have been the next chief. The Beth and Cornell business hadn't happened.
Surely they don't blame you for all of that.
According to a message intercepted by the CIA, the escape of KGB agents Homer and Virgil was set in motion by someone called Agent Stanley, the third man. Somebody much higher up in British intelligence. The Americans made a big deal about Petherbridge and Gwinnell and I all being at Cambridge at the same time. Then Dick Madsen joined the bandwagon.
Why did MI6 try to recruit you again?
Well, possibly because I was cleared by the Foreign Secretary of any involvement.
Or
they wanted to try and trap me. 4 years later, they still haven't managed.
both.
I had a dream that I was separated from you and the children. It was horrible.
Excuse me. Yeah, well, I told you before.
Sally, we've had some news about Leo. Mrs. Cauffield, we've just been informed that your husband has arrived in Moscow of his own free will. We consider the term traitor rather melodramatic within these walls. In intelligence vernacular, your husband has chosen a different loyalty. However, he is an active communist agent, and it is imperative that you don't on any account consider joining him in the Soviet Union. If you do, you'll never be allowed to return.
The only thing I intend to do is to go to New York to visit my daughter. Where I plan to go or what I intend to do after that is of no concern to you.
You look so beautiful. There should be 2 more in the trunk.
For what it's worth, Sally, I'm sorry about what's happened. Leo had a lot of people fooled. I can't say I was entirely surprised myself, but... Well, if there's anything I can do to make things easier for you.
Well, I would like Jen to spend some time with Leo's children in England. They got really close when they were in Beirut.
Well, why don't you bring them over and stay up at the lake house?
You know I can't afford that.
I can't let Jen go back to Europe with you, Sally.
Well, it's not like I'm gonna kidnap her and take her back to Moscow.
Oh, wow, I missed you so much. I'm so glad to see you.
Oh, me too, honey. Me too.
It's so weird to think about all the things you're saying about Leo.
Yeah. I don't know what anything is anymore, honey. I don't even know who I miss anymore. That witty, charming man who expressed his love more honestly than anyone I ever met. Or that witty, charming con artist.
Mom, you know how much I love Dad, right?
Yeah.
But the only reason I have any idea what love really is between 2 adults is because I lived with you and Leo.
Dear Sal, I know what you most probably think of me now, but I need you to know that you have all my love, more than ever. I'm sure that there are many people who are saying terrible things about me, but the truth isn't always what it might seem to be. I beg of you with all my heart to at least visit Moscow and hear my side of the story. You'd be free to come here and leave at any time. Just call the Russian embassy in London and everything can be arranged. I can't stop thinking about you or ever give up hope of seeing you again. All my love, as always, Leo.
Don't worry, I'll be fine.
Are you sure?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, whatever I decide, I promise. I'll be back for your birthday.
Just do what you need to do.
Love you, sweetheart. Love you so much.
Have a safe flight.
Okay.
Daddy's not very good at coping on his own.
He's hoping to find a way for you to visit him during your school holidays.
But I want to live in Moscow with them all the time. Don't be silly, Oliver. You know you can't.
It's not going to be easy, but he's trying to find a way to get you your visas.
I don't want to go to Russia. It's a bloody dump.
I'm the person from the Russian embassy you spoke to on the phone. Good luck, Mrs. Cauffield.
So, where will you be this time tomorrow? Moscow or Manhattan?
I don't know. Part of me is so mad at him I can't even see straight.
And the other part?
Well, you know, with Leo, I never took the path of least resistance. But there's a part of me that feels like if I don't at least see him, I won't be able to get on with my life, with or without him.
Sally. Oh, Andy.
Hello, Cynthia. Sally, I was just on my way around the corner to an exhibition with my wife. Knowing your interest in art, I was wondering if you'd care to come along.
Would you excuse me? Catherine. Andrew, how lovely to see you.
Sally, this is Sir Michael Strickland. Michael, Sally Cauffield.
Oh, yes, I remember your husband at Cambridge many moons ago. Who would have guessed, eh? Do help yourself to drinks, and I hope you enjoy our little collection. Excuse me.
Oh, Lady Markham's waving at me. I'll be back in a tick.
You know, I'll never forget the moment when I finally had to accept Leo was guilty. It was when I worked out why the humps on that damn photo of Mount Ararat were the wrong way round.
I found him in the desert, all alone. Nobody in the world.
A desert rat, eh?
They're very misunderstood creatures, rats. Second only to man's best friend. The most loyal and responsive of pets. Yes.
I'm going back to London tonight, old food.
Oh, really?
The Yanks have handed Golitsyn over to us.
I thought the CIA could never make up their mind if he was a true KGB defector or not.
Oh, no, he's proved he knows his stuff.
Sometimes I can't help wondering if the methodologies of American democracy and communism aren't virtually indistinguishable.
Personally, I always thought communism was rather like acne. You're supposed to grow out of it, aren't you?
I don't know. I never had acne.
Ah, the old two-backed beast.
Yes, I took that when I was stationed in Istanbul.
I thought those old touristy shots that we used to stick in our geography books back at school had the small hump on the right.
I expect the print was made with the negative reversed.
Smart fellow. Golitsyn has the dirt on every Soviet spy in the West here. He's told us your entire history in the KGB.
I'm afraid what you've been told has nothing to do with reality.
We can make a deal. If you return to London and tell us everything.
I told you everything I know the last time I went through this charade, Andy.
You don't have to go and rot in Moscow for the rest of your life like the others. We're offering total immunity.
Think about it for a few days. The photograph had the humps backwards. It was taken from the Russian side of the border.
Intelligence is just a game you all play. Like overgrown schoolboys, isn't it? You have to make someone the enemy, otherwise they'd call you all in off the playground.
In any game, there are always certain rules.
You let him escape, didn't you? Because he was your best friend? Or because MI6 was too embarrassed to bring him back? What rules of the game are we talking about now, Andy?
They wanted him back at any price. It may end up costing me my career. But if Leo had returned and testified, I couldn't have regarded him as anything other than a devious opportunist. His choice to defect, at least showed that his faith in communism was unerring. You and I may regard that as honorable or just bloody foolish. But either way, it's something and I suspect he too, can live with.
Welcome to the Soviet Union, Mrs. Cauffield.
It may not be the Ritz, but it's more than comfortable.
Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Alexei. I know it took a lot of courage for you to come here, Sal. Even though I wanted you to come more than anything. I would have understood if you hadn't.
So this is what you abandoned your family for?
I wasn't intending to leave you permanently, Sal.
Well, you weren't intending to come back, and you won't be coming back anytime soon. That seems pretty permanent to me.
You have every right to be angry. What happened
Do you have
was...
any idea how it feels to find out the person you loved was a shadow? That every word out of their mouth was a lie? That he used you just like he used everybody else?
It may be hard to believe, Sal, but I wasn't lying to you. It's what I didn't tell you that I'm guilty of. 1,000 times over. I had to keep things from you, for your safety and for the children.
Don't give me that bullshit. If you cared about our safety, you wouldn't have left us there.
I didn't plan to, Sal. Things didn't happen the way you think.
Ugh.
Gilitsin has the dirt on every Soviet spy in the West, Leo. We can make a deal if you return to London and tell us everything. Think about it for a few days.
They've given me a few days to make up my mind. Unless if the CIA don't get me first. Got a light?
Don't worry. I'll walk past your apartment every 3 hours each day. If you see me carrying a newspaper, I only want to talk to you. If I'm carrying a book, it means everything is prepared for your departure.
My departure?
We cannot allow you to go back to London under any circumstances.
Oh, good. Ooh, gosh,
I never thought I'd see the day when both my daughter and my stepdaughter ended up in jail. What did I do wrong, eh?
I'm just visiting, Daddy.
Hey, don't forget your coat and umbrella. They're forecasting rain later. Leo!
Yes, but you said it would only take a couple of days. You know, I do need some notice.
Everything is ready now. They are waiting for us to leave.
What? You don't have a book in your hand?
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I forgot all about it.
I can't just leave now, you know. I have to make arrangements. I have to make sure my family's looked after. I have to say goodbye. I have to make sure they're all right.
You can telephone. Tell them you'll be back late.
I mean, you must have known when you first got into it. How could you possibly think it would end happily ever after?
I always knew the day might come. And I was desperately worried about the children. I always believed I could survive long enough for them to grow up, become independent. What changed everything was falling in love. I understand why you think I deceived you, but the truth is, you were the only part of my life where there was no pretending. Everything I said I meant. From the bottom of my heart.
They said I could get a flight back to London or the States as early as tomorrow morning, if I want.
Now, you can probably never forgive me. But I want you to know, I love you much more now than I ever did. Angus was the life and soul of every party in London. Poor old Agent Virgil has never been able to fit in here. Angus, a.k.a. Virgil. This is my wife, Sally.
I'm afraid I haven't been as good a friend to Leo as he's been to me, Sally.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Angus.
I suspect the Kremlin will be somewhat relieved to get rid of me. We've had a bit of a falling out since I got drunk at one of their dreary cocktail parties and urinated in a fireplace.
Was very bad behavior.
Of course it was, old love.
Angus Petherbridge, belumenim talentlivim и мужественным человеком. Angus Petherbridge was an intelligent, gifted, and courageous man who sacrificed his life to the cause of making a better world.
His ashes are being buried in England. That's what he wanted.
I miss England, but not the English. It's acutely painful to see the country of one's birth controlled by a succession of petty administrations, all intent on destroying what the empire ever stood for.
I suppose we all want a better world to live in, Father.
But you left the Foreign Service when you did, Leo. Just like me. Same age. Huh? Couldn't go on working for that lot. They're all the same loaded wankers, the lot of them.
I'll try not to let you down, Father.
I didn't raise you to pen half-baked government propaganda with the Times, Leo.
How are you feeling?
Fucking bored.
Magnificent, isn't it?
You didn't need the VIP treatment, George. I spent my whole bloody life fighting against the notion of privilege, and where am I?
I'll tell you what, I can live without the royal family and the snobbery in the suburbs, but after 12 years, I really miss English sausages.
Oxford thick-cut marmalade and Leon parent sauce.
Sally, there are some wonderful new shops in Moscow. I'll show you around, if you like.
Maybe Sally's not as interested in shopping as you are, Leslie.
All women are interested in shopping, George. Let's go one afternoon next week, when the men are working late. And we could have an early dinner together.
That would be nice.
Where are you from? Chicago.
I don't understand why anyone would want to live in America these days.
Maybe that's because you don't have a choice, George.
In a way, you have to admire what our husbands have done, though. They really believed in it, the British ones, and they never got paid a cent. Can you imagine an American spy ever doing that? They follow you everywhere. Can I ask you something, Sally? What's Leo like in bed? George doesn't seem interested in anything these days. And I just always... Well, I just imagined that Leo would be a terrific lover.
Привет.
Чё?
I'm looking for the museum and art gallery.
Я не понимаю, что тебе надо?
The art gallery.
Давай, иди отсюда.
Why is it so difficult to do anything here?
Well, what do you need? I mean, Alexi's always available to help you, darling.
Christ almighty, Leo, is this what you sacrificed everything for? How can you live like this? People watching you all the time, wondering what you can say in your own home? What, are you waiting for it to be your turn to have your ashes sent back to England? We don't all have your dedication, Leo. This is not my world.
I'm going to lose you, aren't I?
Взять их отсюда. Хорошо стеречь.
This is my favorite speech in Shakespeare. Come, let's away to prison. We two alone will sing like birds in a cage. And thou dost ask me blessing. I'll kneel down, ask of thee forgiveness. So we'll live, pray, sing, tell old tales, laugh, gilded butterflies.
Там будем узнавать от заключенных про новости двора и толковать, кто взял, кто нет, кто в силе, кто в опале. Мы в каменной тюрьме переживем все лжеучения, всех великих мира, все смены их, прилив и отлив. Отнеси их прочь!
You must feel at liberty to say anything, Sally, good or bad, about what you've seen here. The only thing we don't want them to know is Leo's Russian name or where he lives. It would put his life in danger.
Angus left me some money in his will. Would you give it to the children for me? Here. Tell them I love them very much, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Seats.
Mrs. Cauffield, please come with me.
I have been traveling for 18 hours. I've been waiting in here for another 2. Would you mind telling me what this is all about?
May I have your right forefinger, please?
What?
If you're cooperative, you'll be able to leave here a lot faster. Mrs. Cauffield, I've been advised by the Secretary of State to inform you that in view of your marriage to Leo A. Cauffield and your recent activities in the Soviet Union against the interests of the U.S. government, your passport is being withdrawn.
My activities against the U.S. government? I just went to visit my goddamn husband.
If you decide to leave the address you're staying at in the U.S. for any reason, you must let us know. Failure to do so may result in the issue of a warrant for your arrest.
What?
Welcome to the USA.
I don't know why they all have to be so damn paranoid all the time.
Dad says the CIA and British Secret Service have pretty much had to dismantle their entire operations and start over because of Leo.
Well, there is that. Can't believe I'm laughing about this. It's not funny.
Thanks for a great birthday, Mom.
You are so welcome, honey.
Hey, Sally. Listen, honey, I'd love to talk, but we're in a terrible rush.
Mrs. Cauffield, Art Gallup, CIA. This is Ken Riedler.
Mrs. Cauffield. I know this is a very inappropriate time, but I was wondering if you could spare a few minutes. Oh, we'd love to talk to you about your experiences in the Soviet Union.
Will it help me get my passport back?
Wouldn't hurt.
Fine.
This way. Excuse our accommodation. We asked the agency to put us up at the plaza, but they wouldn't go for it.
Smoke?
No, thanks.
I do believe your husband will one day be regarded as the most successful spy of this century.
Come here to discuss that.
Would you say that you were generally well treated by the Russian authorities?
Yes. In fact, better than I was treated by the American authorities when I got back here.
Can you tell us where you stayed?
No.
I understand.
Excuse me a moment. Mrs. Cauffield.
Take a look at those. Go ahead. They're recent intelligence photographs of locations in the Soviet Union carrying atomic weaponry.
What's that got to do with me?
Well, it wasn't long ago that we were the only nation on Earth that held a secret to atomic warfare. Now, how did the Russians get a hold of it?
You have no right to keep me here.
We don't need to get the truth by voluntary means anymore. The advances of medical science made our job a whole lot easier. Do you remember the Rosenbergs, Mrs. Cauffield? It was often claimed that Ethel Rosenberg knew nothing of what her husband was doing. But we proved otherwise. Now just tell us where he is in Moscow, and no harm will come to you or your daughter. Her name's Jen, right?
No! All right! All right! That's it! That's it!
Bitch.
Mrs. Cauffield, you're free to go.
Mom! Mom!
Lucy's been very withdrawn, and Oliver got into a fight with a boy at school who told him his father was a traitor and deserved to be hanged. I think they need a parent who's around, someone they can count on. Oh, I'm sorry, that was unfair of me.
No. Believe me, I agree with you. If I had my way, they'd have 2 parents.
I know.
Sally!
Sally, I didn't realize you were in London. I heard you'd gone back to
I
America.
have a proposal.
Yes, yes, of course, but
I want to bring him back.
Come with me.
Where's Leo?
In the car. Here's the touch of the floor.
Tea.
I have a present for you.
Oh, splendid. We can drink to your most unexpected return.
Leo, what did you do?
Oh, a little disagreement with a glass door after a couple drinks.
Well, other than getting sick and walking through glass doors, what else you been doing?
I have a new office and a secretary, and pretty soon they're going to give me something really important to do.
I can arrange a meeting with Andrew Darcy. They'd get you out and forget about everything if you just cooperate with them.
But Sally, darling, the risks involved would be enormous. I don't even
Hasn't
know.
everything we've ever done been a risk? Come on. We do not have to be imprisoned by the choices we've made in our past. The kids need you, Leo. I need you.
I need you too, Sal. I was never happier than when we were in Beirut.
Could be like that again. We don't have to be separated for the rest of our lives.
I need time to sort some loose ends out.
How much?
Week, 10 days. Whatever you do, don't say a word to Leslie.
I hadn't intended to.
By the way, she and George have separated.
Leslie, you don't know how happy I am to have someone to go shopping with. Leo?
Mm-hmm.
And I've got tickets for Traviata at the end of June. I hope you can both come.
Splendid. Anyone for drinks?
I can't imagine this is how Lenin thought communism would turn out.
I can't imagine this is how anyone thought communism would turn out. You know, when I was at Cambridge in the 30s, we had 2 alternatives, fascism and socialism.
There is a difference between becoming a socialist or a communist and going to work for the Russian Secret Service.
You're right. But a lot of us, admittedly from privileged and educated backgrounds, was sick and tired of our generation going on about changing the world and doing nothing about it. So when I was asked to join a cell, I thought I'd make more of a difference than by, I don't know what, changing my accent and marching with the trade unions or going off to die in the Spanish Civil War.
But you must feel differently about communism today than you did back then.
The trouble is, the wrong people are trying to implement the right doctrines. But to me, it's always been like a good marriage. My commitment was never based on romance, passion alone. So when the first flushes of excitement and frenzy were over, I still always believed in the basic premise of Marxism. Now, I know it hasn't turned out the way it was supposed to, but I still believe it can, Sal. I really do.
After you went back to the States, he was in terrible shape. Worse than you can imagine. I've never seen loneliness like that in a man. He was resigned to losing you, Sally. And he tried to blot out the pain any way he could.
Yeah, well, I'm back now.
I thought we were staying home today.
Something came up at work.
I was gonna make us some lunch.
No, I'll probably be back a bit late, actually.
You said it would be a few days. It's been more than a month now.
Yeah, I've still got some unfinished business. It's taking longer than I thought.
Well, have you contacted Darcy's man yet?
I'll try today. Sorry I'm late. I was busy.
Did you contact him?
Sally.
Did you contact him?
Sally, you know, it isn't quite as easy as you think. This is bigger than just you and me. This is about my life's work!
Really? Why don't you tell me something? In all these years that we've been together, which is more important to you? Me or the Communist Party?
You're wasted!
Answer me! I hate you! Leo!
Leo?
Your husband has very severe pneumonia. We have done everything that we can, but next 48 hours will be critical.
Brought you some newspapers.
I had some visitors from the government this morning. It appears I've been awarded the Order of the Red Banner. It's the highest thing they've got. I mean, it's the equivalent of a knighthood.
You know, you've got to give it up, Leo. It's killing you.
didn't choose this lifestyle. I realize it's not fair to you. I completely understand of you.
I don't want to leave you, Leo. But if you want to be with me, you better make up your goddamn mind.
Dacha in Karelia has been booked in your Russian name for a week, starting on Saturday. You will take the afternoon train to Leningrad on Friday. Your wife will take the flight to London. When you get to Leningrad, you'll miss your connection. In your copy of the Times tomorrow, there will be a coded message in the obituaries with instructions how to get to Vasilievsky Island and board a fishing trawler for Finland. Good luck.
Hey there. There and there.
I have to attend a meeting at the Kremlin before I go to Leningrad. It was arranged weeks ago, Sal. Let's meet at our favorite spot. And if Olga's there, I'll buy you an ice cream before you go to the airport and I go to the station.
It's a beautiful morning. I'm sorry you have to return home so soon, but I hope we'll see you again and that Leo will be completely healthy by that time.
Alexei.
Do they know?
It doesn't matter when they find out, Sal. Here, Finland, London. KGB have a saying. Only fool can commit a murder. But it takes a real artist to stage a natural death.
They've already killed you, Leo.
What kind of life would it be anyway? I'd still be the pariah who defected to Moscow. And you'd be the wife of a Russian spy who changed his mind when it suited him.
I'm getting on that flight, Leo. And I'm not coming back to Moscow.
We can still be together.
You know what I want, Leo. It's not about that anymore. I made a decision before I came back here, and I'm keeping our family together. If you ever decide that's what you want, you know where to find us.
Sal. Deeper. And deeper. Let's away to prison. We two alone will sing like birds in a cage. And thou dost ask me blessing. I'll kneel down and ask of thee forgiveness. So we'll live and pray and sing and tell old tales and laugh at gilded butterflies.